What is your favourite football club? Regardless of your answer, one thing is for sure. You would love to see your team play every day if possible. While that may be a dream for a fan, it would be a nightmare for the players. A chorus of footballers have raised concerns over the increasingly congested calendar of professional football. Footballers are constantly under pressure due to the relentless schedule of leagues, cups, international tournaments, and high-profile friendlies. This season specifically is coming under the limelight, which leads to one question: should the players go on strike? If you take a closer look, this dense scheduling in football is no accident. The sport's popularity has turned it into a global business, and the leagues and federations are definitely taking in a heap of profits from broadcasting rights, ticket sales, and sponsorships. Consider the UEFA Champions League, which previously was structured to ensure top European clubs play a minimum of 6 games in the group stage alone and can extend to 13 games for the competition's finalists. These additional games contribute an estimated €3.2 billion to UEFA's revenue, creating a financial incentive for them to maintain or expand tournament structures. And this amount is about to go up hugely as UEFA has switched to the new league-style format. The new format will expand the group stage from 6 to 8 games per team, totaling 189 matches across the season, up from 125. This means a roughly 51% increase in the number of matches, leading to more opportunities for ticket sales, broadcasting rights, and advertising. Considering the current revenue, this increase in the number of matches could boost annual revenue by 40 to 50%, resulting in an estimated earnings between €4.5 billion and €4.8 billion per season. Now, this is only the Champions League that we're talking about. Beyond that, the players have club seasons that typically feature 38 league games, domestic cup competitions, and for the elite player, international duties with their countries. In a single year, a top-tier footballer can participate in up to 60 matches, an intense pace that has only increased in recent years. Major competitions, like the World Cup, have also expanded, leading to longer tournament schedules and consequently shorter off-seasons for the players. This results in insufficient recovery time, putting the players' bodies under immense strain. Although the financial benefits for the clubs, leagues, and governing bodies are clear from these tight schedules, the physical and psychological toll on players cannot be overlooked. Before we continue the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like the video so we know you're enjoying the content. Now back to the video. Players and managers across leagues have increasingly spoken out about the punishing schedules they face each season, voicing concerns over the impact on their health, performance, and careers. High-profile players like Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, and Courtois, as well as top managers like Guardiola and Arteta, have openly criticised the intensity of match demands for the last couple of years, emphasising the toll it takes on their bodies. This is what the Ballon d'Or winner, Rodri, had to say about the schedules. "We are tired. We are at the limit. If this continues, it will be difficult to perform at our best level." He also hinted a bit about the strike. "I think we are close to that. I think if you ask any player, he will say the same." Now, if you're hearing this from the Ballon d'Or winner, the player who represents the best in the sport, something is definitely wrong. Arsenal and France legend Thierry Henry has also criticised the football schedule, saying there are too many games. Ex-Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has also warned about the perils of football's increasingly crammed calendar. This is what Man City boss Pep Guardiola had to say about this whole situation. "That is really, really tough for ourselves and especially for the players. This tight calendar doesn't only put strain on the player's body, but also increases the chance of getting injured. And no, it is not just speculation now. Data from FIF Pro, the Global Players Union, reveals that injury rates among professional footballers are spiking. In the 2022-23 season alone, players in Europe's top leagues sustained injuries at rates 20 to 30% higher than in previous seasons, with the most affected players enduring multiple injuries in the same season. This includes notable cases like Reece James, who had 3 separate injuries throughout the season, missing 32% of Chelsea's games, or Sadio Mane, who suffered a season-ending injury just before the 2022 World Cup. Not only players are getting more prone to injuries, but because of schedules, they are also having to recover quickly. Yes, as harsh as it sounds, the injured players are having to speed up their recovery period. According to a UEFA medical report, players are typically forced to cut recovery periods by 25 to 30% to meet scheduling demands, leading to heightened re-injury rates. Take the case of Manchester United's Marcus Rashford. Returning prematurely from a shoulder injury, he subsequently missed several games due to further aggravation. This scenario repeats across teams, raising the question of whether the short-term profits are worth the long-term costs. From the perspective of sports science, it is recommended to have a rest period of around 48 to 72 hours, depending on the player's age and physical condition after each 90-minute football game. But many players end up playing every 3 days, sometimes more frequently during congested periods. No wonder the injury rate is going up. When it comes to global recognition, football definitely holds the top spot in the list of sports and provides a near year-round play, but it lacks the robust player representation seen in other sports. Major leagues like NBA, NFL, and MLB have powerful players' associations that negotiate on behalf of players, ensuring reasonable schedules, off-season periods, and health protections. Take the NBA as an example. NBA players have a strict minimum rest period between games and a defined off-season, and the NBA Players Association, NBPA, can veto schedule changes that compromise player welfare. In the NFL, another high-impact sport, the Collective Bargaining Agreement, CBA, caps the number of games at 17 per season, a fraction of what footballers endure. The MLB, though less physically taxing, has an off-season period of nearly 5 months, during which players are free from competitive games. Football lacks an equivalent association that empowers players to negotiate due to its vastness around many countries. There is FIF Pro, which is influential but still lacks the legal leverage that national players' associations possess in other sports. The biggest step FIF Pro has taken is proposing the Mandatory Recovery Protocol, which aims to enforce a minimum rest period of 72 hours between games. If the players do go on a strike, it would definitely reduce the number of games in certain tournaments while ensuring longer recovery periods. This would certainly result in a less intense schedule, which would in turn improve players' overall performance and lengthen their careers. While a strike seems to be a powerful option, there are some other solutions that can be explored by the governing bodies of football immediately to address the footballers' concerns. A starting point would be introducing stricter rest and recovery protocols between games. For example, enforcing a mandatory 72-hour recovery period between matches could reduce the risk of injuries and fatigue, allowing players to perform at their best consistently. Secondly, reducing unnecessary fixtures and restructuring competitions can lessen the physical strain on players. Limiting less critical tournaments or reducing competition size can balance revenue generation with player welfare. Finally, FIF Pro should be given a bit more power to represent the players more properly and create a standardized player welfare policy with mandatory breaks, defined rest periods, and player workload monitoring. Two core parts of football are the fans and the players. So, striking or not, football's future must prioritize its players. The game and its fans deserve quality matches that come from players who are fit, focused, and adequately rested. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.